Shalom, shalom, Israel's brothers, Abba Yalla, coming back at you with another cold cut. I'd like to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bashim Yahushua, Ashar Feast of Dedication. This being the first day of the feast, all praises to the Most High. Lord willing, you kind of gathered together, you turned up with the Akim, the family, right, whoever you was with, right? But I want to get into a quick cold cut this day on the withering fig tree, right? The parables Yahushua, the withering fig tree. Right, let's go to Matthew chapter 21. Let's see what this fig tree is. All right, this is the book of Matthew, chapter 21, and I'm going to start at verse number 19. I'm going to start at verse 18. Now, in the morning, as he returned into the city, he hungered, right? Yahushua got hungry, right? And that's also even a Trinity cut, because they said Yahushua is the Most High. But the Most High doesn't get hungry, right? Yahushua hungered, right? Because he was in the flesh, right? But verse 19, and when he saw a fig tree in the way, he came to it and found nothing thereon but leaves only, and said unto it, let no fruit grow on thee henceforth forever. And presently the fig tree withered away. Right? And Yahushua answered and said unto them, verily I say unto you, if you have faith and doubt not, you shall not only do this which is done to the fig tree, but also if you shall say unto this mountain, be thou removed, and be thou cast into the sea, it shall be done. So let's break this down. Let's read verse 19 again. And when he saw a fig tree in the way, he came to it. So what is this fig tree? Did the Lord actually come to a fig tree? Did he actually come to a tree and pick an apple off the tree? No. Let's see what these trees represent. Let's go to Psalms chapter 92 and verse 12. All right, let's see what these trees represent. All right. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 92. And I'm going to start at verse 12, because it wasn't an actual fig tree. All right, this is Psalms 92 and 12. The righteous shall flourish like the palm tree. He shall grow like a cedar in Lebanon. So the righteous are compared to as a tree. Right? Men are compared to as trees in the scriptures. Right? Let's get another one. Let's go to Sirach 24 and 14. All right. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 24 and verse 14. I was exalted like a palm tree in Gadi, and as a rose plant in Jericho, as a fair olive tree in a pleasant field, and grew up as a plane tree by the water. So Sirach is comparing himself to a tree. So men are compared to as trees in the scriptures. Men are compared to as grass, plants. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 40 and verse 7. Men is compared to it as grass, right? So the Most High has a lot of comparisons for men in the scriptures. And you have to go to the precepts to understand, to break this down. This is Isaiah chapter 40 and verse 7. The grass withereth, the flower fadeth, because the spirit of the Lord bloweth upon it. Surely the people is grass. So people are compared to as grass. People are compared to as cedar trees, fig trees, right? Withering trees, right? Let's get one more in Judges chapter 9. All right, this is the book of Judges, chapter 9, and I'm going to start at verse 8. The trees went forth on a time to anoint a king over them, and they said unto the olive tree, reign thou over us. Yeah, when's the last time you seen a tree talk? You walked up to a tree, you say, hey, how's your morning? The tree said it was doing good, it's kind of giving oxygen on the earth. You said, all right, keep doing your thing, and you kept walking. That doesn't exist. A tree can't say they want to anoint a king over them or reign thou over us. This is talking about a man. This is a parable. Verse 9, but the olive tree said unto them, should I leave my fatness wherewith by me they honor God and man, and go to be promoted over the trees? And the tree said to the fig tree, come thou and reign over us. So that this isn't happening. Trees don't elect other trees to reign over them, right? This is talking about man, because man is compared to as trees, right? So let's go back to that in Psalms chapter Matthew, actually, chapter 21 and 19. All right, let's see. Let's dig into this. All right, even though it's a very short, it's a short parable, and it expounds in other books as well, but there's a lot to unpack from this, right? This is Matthew 21 in verse 19. And when he saw a fig tree, talking about a man, right, in the way he came to it and found nothing thereon but leaves only, right? Trees are supposed to grow fruit. Yeah, they have leaves, but every tree has leaves, right? The Lord wants fruit on the tree, right? Let me go to the book of Psalms chapter 1 and verse 1. But Yahushua seen no fruit on this tree. So what is it good for? If you see a tree and it has no fruit on it, what is it good for? Right? It's not bearing no fruit. It's not doing its purpose. If you go to a vine tree, right, you expect to see vines on the tree, grapes, right? If you go to an apple tree, you want apples to be on the tree, orange tree, etc. But if this orange tree has no oranges but leaves, what is it good for? Right? This is the book of Psalms chapter 1 and verse number 2. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and his law doeth he meditate day and night. And he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water, that bringeth forth his fruit in his season. His leaf also shall not wither, right? Your leaf represents your knowledge, your understanding, right? But what? And shall not wither, and whatsoever he doeth shall prosper. So that fruit you're going to be bringing forth in your season. You're going to start bringing forth the fruit, right? And as a tree, if a man's compared to as a tree, what are the fruits that man is supposed to bring forth? Right, let me get the book of Galatians. What is the fruit that man is supposed to bring forth? This is the book of Galatians, chapter 5, and start at verse 22. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. Against such there is no law. So these are what man is supposed to bring forth on earth. These are the fruits. You're supposed to have long-suffering. You're supposed to have gentleness, love, joy, peace. Right? We're supposed to be joyful right now. We're supposed to be exercising our fruits. It's an 8-day feast we have right here. Goodness, faith, meekness, right? Humility and temperance. So these are what man is supposed to be. Supposed to have attributed to them, man, as fruits. But Yahweh came to this tree, but it didn't have these fruits. It only had leaves, meaning it only had knowledge. Right? I'm going to Sirach chapter 19. If you only have knowledge of the precepts, you're just a person that knows a lot. You have to actually apply these precepts to your life to bear those fruits as a tree. This is Sirach chapter 19. And I'm going to start at verse 22. The knowledge of wickedness is not wisdom, neither at any time the counsel of sinners prudence. There is a wickedness in the same and abomination, and there is a fool wanting in wisdom. He that hath small understanding in fear of Yahweh is better than one that have much wisdom and transgresseth the law of the Most High. Yeah, it's better to have small knowledge about what's going on, right? You may not know the history. You may not know or get into depth with the prophecies. You may not even know the bread, the wine like that. But all you know is the milk. You know the milk very well, and you know some of these commandments, right? And you're trying to dive deeper into more commandments, but you're keeping them. You're going your hardest at them. The Lord will value that, brother, that sister, that child, more so than a man that can break down Daniel 10, 11, 12, go into, different parables, right? First, second, third abomination of desolation. They know Revelation, the 9th chapter, right? They know Zechariah, the 1st chapter, the 4 carpenters, right? They know all of these different prophecies and breakdowns, but they don't keep the commandments. They still struggle with eating different abominations, doing different little things, right? So let's go back to that. Let's get to the book of Luke chapter 13, verse 6, actually. Let's get another precept on it. Luke chapter 13, verse 6. All right? So you got to be bearing these fruits, right? Luke chapter 13, verse 6. And let's see what the Lord does to these fruits if they have no tree. If they have no, does to these trees if they have no fruit. It's Luke chapter 13 and verse number 3. Verse 6. He spake also this parable. A certain man had a fig tree planted in his vineyard, and he came and sought fruit thereon and found none. So the same man came, he wanted some fruit. He went to his fig tree in this proper season, seeing there was no fruit. All right, let's see what happens. All right, and it says 7. Then said he unto the dresser of his vineyard, behold, these 3 years I come seeking fruit on this fig tree and find none. Cut it down. Why cumbereth it the ground? So this man came to the fig tree 3 years, man. Every year, no fruit. It wasn't producing no fruit. So obviously this fig tree is not doing its purpose. Why is it taking up space on the ground? That's what he's asking. Just cut it down. Chop it off like it's nothing. That's what the Lord would do to a man, because we know trees are men. That's what the Lord will come do to you if you're not bearing fruit. You came the first year, you weren't bearing fruit. You're still playing around with this truth. Still playing around trying to get right. You didn't order your fringes yet. Second year, you finally ordered your fringes, right? But you're not really studying. Yeah, you heard a couple of verses, right? You may start keeping the Sabbath day, right? But you're still hanging around those old friends, those old people getting you to sin and wickedness, right? The third year, now you're a little bit more mature in this thing, right? You're a little bit more outgoing being an Israelite. You may have changed your bio, whatever the case may be. Your family and friends may know now finally. But in the dark, you still do a couple of things you know you're not supposed to be doing. Well, look, hey, just chop it down. right? Verse 8. And it says, and he answered, said unto the Lord, said unto him, Lord, let it alone this year also, till I shall dig about it and dung it. And if it bear fruit, well. And if not, then after that, thou shalt cut it down. So, hey, you have to grow and you have to bring forth fruit. Trees grow and they bring forth fruit. If you're not growing as a tree, you're going to get chopped down like the rest of them. All right, let me go to the book of Matthew chapter 4. Right? It's like your Wisdom of Solomon chapter 4 and 4. And it says, for though they flourish in branches for a time, yet standing not fast, they shall be shaken with the wind. And that's how trees will fall. The Lord can send a lot of adversity. The Lord's going to send a lot of wind. Right? And guess what? If you're not standing fast, if all you have is weak and feeble branches, those branches are going to get chopped off. As you see in these tornadoes, the branches get chopped off. The tree starts to uproot and it topples over, may hit a house, may hit the electrical power lines. And guess what? It's done for. Right? Hey, there's palm trees. We just read in Psalms 92 and 14. Let's get it again. Palm trees can stand up to winds of 250 miles per hour. Right? In Florida, they got some of the worst hurricanes, man. And all you see is the palm tree just kind of swaying side to side. It's not uprooting. David compared himself to a palm tree. It's Psalms chapter 92 and verse 12. The righteous shall flourish like the palm tree. He shall grow like a cedar in Lebanon, right? So the palm tree can withstand adversity. It can withstand that wind. It can withstand that turmoil that it's facing, right? But other trees will get uprooted, fall to the wayside, go back into the world, start smoking things again, start, dealing with certain things again, man. And guess what? They're out of this. They're not planted by the rivers of living water. Right? It's Wisdom of Solomon 4 and 4 again. For though they flourish in branches for a time, yet standing not fast, they shall be shaken with the wind. And through the force of winds, they shall be rooted out. Verse 5. The unperfect branches shall be broken off. Their fruit unprofitable. Yeah, it's unprofitable. The apple is just still premature. Right? The banana don't even look like a banana. It's still in its premature phase. Right? It's just unprofitable. Right? The Lord don't want that. Right? But what? Not ripe to eat, yea, meat for nothing. The Lord will call your works meat for nothing. You're good for nothing. That's what the Lord said. Why cumbreth it to the ground? Meaning you're good for nothing. Why are you here? Cut it down and plant a new tree. Just have another brother or sister, child take his or her spot. Right? Just find another person better than that. Didn't the Lord do that with Saul? You go to the book of 1 Samuel. Didn't the Lord chop down Saul and raise up David? All right? This is the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 13. And let's start at verse. Let's see what we want. Because the Lord did that with Saul, man. The Lord did that by raising up King David. And it had him flourish. This is the book of 1 Samuel chapter 15 and start at verse 26. And Samuel said unto Saul, I would not return with thee, for thou hast rejected the word of the Lord, and the Lord have rejected thee for being king over Israel. So he said, the Lord rejected you. The Lord cut you down. The Lord replaced you with somebody better than you. And he's going to tell you that. Verse 27, and as Samuel turned about to go away, he laid upon the skirt of his mantle, and it rent. And Samuel said unto him, the Lord have rent the kingdom of Israel from thee this day, and have given it to a neighbor that is better than thou. He said, yeah, I gave it to somebody better than you already. Right? It's over. You're done. Your position has been terminated. We don't need you in this garden no more. You're cut down. And the Lord raised up King David. Let me go to the book of 2 Samuel. The Lord raised up King David. The book of 2 Samuel chapter 6. It's like your chapter 3. This is the book of 2 Samuel chapter 3 and 1. Now there was long war between the house of Saul and the house of David. And David waxed stronger and stronger, and the house of Saul waxed weaker and weaker. So one tree was diminishing, one tree was growing in his stead, man. And that's what the Lord will do to you if he comes to your fruit and seeks fruit and comes to you and doesn't see any fruit. He doesn't see any fruits of the Spirit. How can you tell if you have the fruits of the Spirit? By what you do. Let's prove that. Let's go to Matthew chapter 7. Right? The fruits of the Spirit is going to manifest the actions. through what you do, what you say, what you think, right? I'm going to Matthew chapter 7. And let's start at verse 17. Even so, every good tree bringeth forth good fruit, but a corrupt tree bringeth forth evil fruit. So a good tree is going to bring forth the good fruit that we spoke about, right? But a corrupt tree is going to bring forth evil fruit. The things that defile you. What is the evil fruit that defiles man? Let's go to Mark chapter 7. What is that evil fruit? Right? That's yea, meat, good for nothing. All right, that the Lord said. This is the book of Mark chapter 7. And let's start at verse 15. I'm sorry, verse 20. 15. I'm going to jump down. Mark 7 and 15. There is nothing from without a man that enter into him can defile him. But the things which come out of him, those are they that defile the man. Right? So the things that come forth out of your mind, out of your mouth. Right? Verse 20. And he said, that which cometh out of the man, that defileth the man, for from within, out of the heart of men proceed evil thoughts. It's like adulteries, fornication, murders, right? Evil thoughts. You meditate upon wickedness, foolishness, adulteries, right? Sleeping with other brothers' wives, women sleeping with another man. You have a husband. Fornications, this unmeritable, this raunchy wickedness, and murders. Hating your brother is considered murder. 1 John 3 and 15. You don't want to be like a Cain, right? Thefts, covetousness, right? Wickedness, deceit, lasciviousness, which is evil sexual desire, and evil eye, blasphemy, pride, foolishness. All these evil things come from within and defile the man. So you have these things that will defile your fruit. Those things come from your thoughts. But a good tree is going to meditate upon the words of the Lord. And that's going to help you bring forth good fruit, because whatever you think is whatever you're going to do. Let's go to Proverbs 16 and verse 1. All right, so this thing gets deep, right? Although it's only a few verses, the Lord said a lot, man. Right? It's Proverbs chapter 16 and verse 1. The preparations of the heart in man, and the answer of the tongue is from the Lord. All the ways of a man are clean in his own eyes, but the Lord weigheth the spirits. So the preparations of the heart in man, and the answer of the tongue is from the Lord, right? Let me jump down. Let me read verse 3. Commit thy works unto the Lord, and thy thoughts shall be established. So the Lord will establish your thoughts. The Lord will establish your meditation of your heart. Let's go to Sirach chapter 6 and verse 37. This is the book of Sirach 6 and 37. Let thy mind be upon the ordinances of the Lord. Right? The law, history, right? You may get into the geography. You may get into the Hebrew. These are all the ordinances of your culture. The Lord said, let your mind be on that, and meditate continually in his commandments. He shall establish thine heart and give thee wisdom at thy own desire. So the Lord will establish your mind. He will prepare your mind, right? Help you think about things to overcome your daily battles, your demons, right? And give you, and that will ultimately start bearing the fruits of the Spirit. So this is what the good tree is going to bring. Right, so let's read that Matthew 7 and 17 again. Even so, every good tree bringeth forth good fruit, but a corrupt tree bringeth forth evil fruit, which we read about. A good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit, neither can a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit. Every tree that bringeth forth not good fruit is hewn down and cast into the fire. Wherefore, by their fruits you shall know them. So you're going to know them by their fruits, man. You're going to know them by what they do, their actions. Right, and you're going to tell, okay, he doesn't have good fruit. All right, this brother always speaks about just women and promiscuity. This brother must be dealing with this fornication demon. He always talking about this brother Reb. He must be dealing with the adultery. Right, he always meditating upon just stealing and just trying to go and he always talking about robbing banks. This brother got a thievery, theft spirit on him. Right, you can tell by what they're saying, what they're doing, by their fruits. And that's how the Lord's going to cut certain men down in these last days. And you got to pray that you bring forth good fruits. You got to pray to the Lord that you start bringing forth these fruits, or the Lord will come to thee whenever he gets hungry and wants to try your fruit. And if it's not meat to his tasting, why cumbereth it to the ground? Right, so let's go back to that Matthew chapter 21 and 19. It's the book of Matthew chapter 21 and 19. And when he saw a fig tree in the way, he came to it, right, a man, and found nothing thereon but leaves only, right? This tree bare no fruits. And said unto it, let no fruit grow on thee henceforth forever. And presently the fig tree withered away. So guess what? Now you will wither away. Now you start to become a reprobate mind. Now you start to believe heresies and different doctrines that makes no... Now you start keeping Yahweh's day. Right? What is Yahweh's day? That's Thanksgiving, man. That Israel, some certain wicked men, Israelites, established, and now you can eat pork and all types of abominable things on that day. A day of wickedness called Yahweh's Day. And the Lord's not dealing with Yahweh's Day, man, on Thanksgiving. And you just making abominable idolatries to eat, to wicked things, man. That those fig trees withered away, and you've seen it and caught on camera. But that happens every day, and you don't want to be that fig tree withering away. The Lord said, just let no fruit ever grow on you. You never bear fruit. You're never enjoying the Lord. You're never at peace with yourself. You don't have long suffering. You're intemperate. No discipline. You're not meek. You're prideful. You're not gentle. You're rough. Right? What the Lord say about roughness? So these are things that will, that will cause you to wither away. This, and if you don't have gentleness, you can never be in a position of leadership. It's gonna be hard for you. You're gonna lose it. Well, what are you saying? What are you saying, Zabayala? If I'm too gentle, I can't be in a position of leadership. If I'm gentle, yes, right. This is Sirach chapter 10 and verse 21. The fear of the Lord goeth before the obtaining of authority, but roughness and pride is the losing thereof. So if you don't have gentleness, and if you don't have humility or meekness, those two of the fruits of the Spirit alone will cause you to lose your authority in certain leadership positions. Because you're rough and you're prideful. Nobody wants to be under a rulership of a man like that, man. So you got to have these fruits. It's very important you have these fruits, right? You can lose things, a lot of things, and never come back, right? This is Matthew chapter 9, 21 and 20. And when the disciples saw it, they marveled, saying, how soon is the fig tree withered away? Yeah, it doesn't have to take 20 years. It can be a day. The Lord can take your spirit by night. Let's go to Ecclesiastes. I'm on a time crunch. Let's go to Ecclesiastes chapter 8 and 8. The Lord can take your spirit whenever he so chooses and desires. And none may say anything to the Lord. There is no discharge in that Lord. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 8. And there's verse 8, there is no man that hath power over the spirit to retain the spirit, neither hath the power in the day of death. Yeah, when you physically die, once your spirit is taken from you, it's gone. You can't fight you can't fight the Most High and try to retain your spirit. You're playing tug of war with the Lord, and the Lord says, all right, I didn't think he's gonna put up a fight. And you say, yeah, Lord, I was waiting for you to come to me. No, you can't do that with the Most High. Right? And there is no discharge in that war, neither shall wickedness deliver those that are given to it. So even on a physical level, you're not going to be able to deliver yourself from the Most High when he calls your spirit back to the third heaven. All right? Even on a spiritual level, in the death of the day you spiritually die, right? You blaspheme the name of the Lord, you leave this truth and you want to go back into what you was doing before. You put your hand to the plow and then you stop putting your hand to the plow and you say, I'm not doing this no more. The Lord can do that tomorrow and take your spirit. You can wake up and just believe in false things. You can wake up and now question the truth. You can wake up and now question Yahweh and only believe in the Old Testament, right? You can do these things. There is no discharge in that war, all right? So let's go back to that in Matthew chapter 19. All right, let's finish that off. 21 and 19. This is Matthew 21 and 20. And when the disciples saw it, they marveled, saying, how soon is this fig tree withered away? Yahushua answered, said unto them, verily I say unto you, if you have faith and doubt not, you shall not only do this which is done to the fig tree, but also if you shall say unto this mountain, be thou removed, and it shall be cast into the sea, it shall be done, right? Ultimately, just have faith that you can bear these fruits. You have faith that you can't cast off the things that defile you. Right. And you understand now that you're a tree that you're supposed to grow. You're supposed to be like a palm tree. Right. That's what this parable is saying. So only in 2 verses. I mean, covered a lot, man. Right. Only 2 verses. And you got to think about that. So Lord willing, as you're rededicating your altar, you're taking out the defiled stones and re-implementing with new stones that you think about this. You don't want to be that tree that withers away and the Lord just takes his spirit by night and gives it to another. All right, but I'll just give all praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, and be the mighty strong. Shalom.